I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good with
like
the
a little
water.
something? Come on. No? All right.
A little flask, what is it?
Gin?
Oh, gin, no.
So, come on.
Gin.
Somebody who makes fuck explosions is not going to have a drink before him? God damn you. It's actually draw. I will, because I want to seem sort of, edgy and alternative. Well, welcome, Jon Moritsugu.
Oh, thank you.
The director of SCUMROCK, Fame, Whore, and Mod Fuck Explosion, which obviously are playing AMC chains across the Midwest.
Right. 2,000 screen release for all of those.
That's right.
Definitely.
You obviously are working a fringe of the film world, but unlike a lot of indie filmmakers, doing it successfully. How do you define success?
Gosh, I used to define it when I started out, just success was me being able to go on and make one movie after another, get financing for each one. And at this point, though, I've sort of modified that. To me, success now is I want to work with bigger names, I want to get bigger budgets, and I want my movies to ultimately reach bigger, huger audiences.
Mod Fuck Explosion. Popular?
It is.
Is it most popular?
Yeah.
And for that film, let's imagine that the trailer voice guy was still alive.
Oh,
you had to do In a World Gone Mad.
Right.
What is
okay? In a World Gone Mad, we have the battle between the Japs and the mods. We have a race war. We have a updated version of Romeo and Juliet. We grab a rebel without a cause and pulverize it and reassemble it Frankenstein style into something that is engaging in this day and age. That's what we have with Mod Fuck Explosion. I think one problem a lot of low budget and underground people have is they have a small budget and they're sort of weeping and moaning about their lack of budget. And I think this lack of choices sometimes can create innovative, cool solutions to filmic problems. Like how do you film an explosion and BMWs crashing when you don't have the money to actually do it, And I like to embrace my limitations.
Is a Jon Moritsugu film really yours? It's all yours.
Yeah, it actually is. I'm co-writing right now with my wife Amy, so the words, I think we're a great writing team, great partnership. But as far as the actual acting and improvising, there's this impression that because these are low-budget movies, I sort of turn the camera on, get everyone wasted, and walk away with the movie, 24 hours later, and that's really, really not the case.
It's 36 hours?
Yeah, 36 hours, and people are just halfway. No, the movies are really heavily scripted, and for all of these movies, we've rehearsed for at least a month in advance, month, 2 months, and I feel that, especially with the low-budget mode of making movies, rather than letting go of control and letting people just riff and whatnot, I think you've got to actually exert more control.
Well, you've done something amazing, and that is whether it's Seattle or Austin or anywhere else, there are a lot of indie film communities, and there are a lot of people who think, oh, I can make an indie film. And a lot of people can sort of muster up the resources to make one indie film, and then they can't do anything with it, or it doesn't turn out very well, or they just give up, essentially. But you have kept at it. What is the secret to being successful on that level?
Amphetamines. I think it's, first of all, starting out realizing that this is something I've always wanted to do. A lot of people have these filmic dreams, and they do their first feature and they sort of realize, wow, this isn't what I want to do, this was terrible. I think, first of all, that I was born to be a filmmaker, film director, writer. That's one thing. And the other thing is I realized that my movies have a really, really long shelf life. Something like Mod Fuck Explosion, it was shot in '92, released in '94, and it's still a really hot seller. I think the moment you just say horror movie, it suddenly is something that 99% of the public can relate to. It's sort of like Mod Fuck Explosion, indie movie, weirdo movie. What's that about? Horror movie. People know what it is. They sort of know what to expect, and it immediately is something that's, I think, more accessible, more marketable, more saleable, even if it's like a tweaked up, totally messed up, crazy horror movie.
Can you tease it a little bit? Because how would yours be different? I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a hip indie horror film.
It's a character-driven horror movie and not in that Hitchcockian way.
Pshaw.
Pshaw.
Tired.
It's not a suspense movie, it's a horror movie, and the only thing I can give away is like the mundane becomes horrifying. And it's also a really funny movie. I think that's something that, you know, people have played with, like Shaun of the Dead, stuff like that, where they've tried to do like a horror comedy, and I've never seen it actually work. I mean, I think, you know, it's like you get to Freud and Nietzsche, and they're like you know, laughter's one step away from screams, horror is one step away from comedy, and I totally believe in that, and that's, I feel this new project is something that you're laughing at one moment and then like completely like retching the next moment, and I think that's sort of like a beautiful harmony right there, you know.
I normally would argue with you,
yeah.
But I love the fact that within one sentence you both put down Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright, who made Shaun of the Dead, and got Nietzsche in there. I find that very astonishing. That's something that does happen. So I'll go see the movie.
Okay, good, yeah.
Especially if you get Keanu and you can dispatch him in some awful way.